Morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back, welcome to. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today's Wednesday, August 14th, 2024. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a window to my thought process on how I do technical analysis breakdowns on DXY, Bitcoin, XRP, XDC, BCH. I'm going to end the video with Chainlink. So first things first, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. I've been doing technical analysis for 17 years. I have been invested in trading crypto for almost 10 years now. I've experienced and witnessed multiple cycles, bull and bear, and I have a very good understanding of how this market works. And what I'm trying to do is give you a window to my thought process. This is not a scripted videos. They have never been, never will be. I'm literally sitting here talking to myself and trying to teach you my process on how I say things, why I say things, how I back test it, and I never give you news. It's strictly trust the charts, cuzzy. So first things first, if you remember in my last couple of videos, we've been watching the DXY. DXY is doing this trend here, right, where it's in an upward rising channel. Unfortunately, the DXY has been making lower highs each time, and I said to help my hypothesis play out, we would like to see the DXY come down. And from that day, we have two red candles coming back to major support of the 101.10 level here. I always tell you, please, if you're looking for support, resistance, the overall trend, the overall market structure, look at the long-term trend first, meaning the monthly, the 3-week, the 2-week, and the weekly. Figure out where major support resistance levels are. See what your indicators are telling you, because the long-term trend will predict what the shorter time frames are going to tell you, meaning the monthly, 3-week, 2-week, and 1-week will determine what your daily, 2-day, and 3-day trends are doing. If you're having a symmetrical triangle, is it going to break up? Is it going to break down? Is it going to go sideways? I'm not going to the news to justify that. I'm looking longer to see if that is more bearish or bullish. So because we were having the MACD coming down, I said we were having the double topping coming down to the 50. I did not expect anything bullish to happen on the daily, meaning these waves are lower and lower and lower each time, okay? So because the DXY was coming down, I expected the markets to go up regardless of what the news was telling us, okay? So now we go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, shout out to the people in the Discord. Link will be in the description. I was told that the link is expired. I don't know how, but I will put a new link in this video, so please join. It's free. It's a faster window to my thought process. And I was telling everyone that we buy at support to take profit at resistance, or we open up shorts at resistance to take profit on the way down. I was telling everyone we buy at support, so we have the opportunity to take profit at resistance, and we're halfway there, right? And we have this beautiful trend line forming here. It looks like we are forming an ascending triangle where the highs are the same at 61, 62,000, but we are forming higher lows each time. Technically, this could be a measured move you would take from here to here, which lines up because your next major liquidity resistance levels is 65 to 40. At that point, I'm not looking, not financial advice, but I don't buy after green candles happen, right? Green candles lead to red candles. Red candles lead to green candles. So now that if this happens and we finally break and we break up to the 64, 65,000, there's always two levels. I'm going to use the bottom, I'm going to use the bottom of the candle here as level 1. So 64,448 to 65,240 is going to be my take profit zone. Could it go a little bit above and see the 66,000? Yes, that's why I always choose 2-3 levels. But at this point, you're here looking at something like this, anywhere from 5 to 7 to potentially 8%. Not financial advice. You can obviously see I have an alert here at the 62,110. Now, yesterday I was telling the Discord that this MACD, which is a trend indicator, all it is two simple moving averages and just tell you if the trend is going up or if the trend is going down. Right now you could see volume was going the other way and we had a golden cross yesterday. The only negative thing, even though we're having a positive golden cross, is we are still below the zero line. There's two sections, right? A and B, okay? Once we break A, we're going to be breaking previous highs, meaning this right here of the 65,512. Another key indicator I use is an RSI that helps me understand oversold, good times the dollar cost average, or open longs, and the 70 line is overbought, good time to take profit, open shorts. And then we look for patterns like inverse head and shoulders or double bottoms to confirm that the trend is changing the other way. As of right now, this was the confirmation of the trend potentially turning the other way. You had a higher low here, right? 1, 2. We went up to the 50. I said we have to break the 50. That's why I have an alert here. We need to go into section A in order for Bitcoin to break the resistance of the 61,666. Okay? So, with that being said, what you could do if you're looking at a daily and you're trying to figure that out, and you can see the confirmation, excuse me, my brain's going all over. This, when you are below the moving average, it's bearish. When you break above, use as support, and you are on the other side of the moving average, that is bullish, right? So bullish, turn bearish, turn bullish, turn bearish. We just turned bullish because we went up to the 50, once again, still somewhat negative and bearish, but because we used the moving average as support, and we're making a higher low, that shows me that we have a high probability of potentially breaking this high and making another high, potentially to, let's just say here, the 56 to potentially the 58. And then we'd want to see it use the 50 as support as the moving average starts to turn the other way. And then we have a potential to make a higher low at, let's just say, the 51.87 to the 49.80 something. I'm using these levels here. And then you are in section A with room to grow. That's all I look to do. Do we have room to grow? I'm opening up a long or I'm buying. Or if you see the crack in the ice and you have room to bleed, or this, room to bleed, we are obviously opening up short. So as of right now, once we break the 50-50, you are off to the races and you should be in the green. These people that bought from here will be up 13 to potentially 20 to 23%. Another thing that I want to show you is you always look left, right? If someone says, that's not possible, bro, I just look left and I fight arguments and opinions with facts. You cannot fight science. You can't fight math because 5 plus 5 will never be 9, right? So what I mean by that is this pump was 19%. This pump was 19%. This pump was 22%. This pump was 25%. Obviously, the channel is getting wider and wider, so the pumps are getting a little bit higher and higher. This one could potentially take us 25, 26%. If you go to the wick, you're actually up 35 to 30%. So it is possible. So now we go to, that's my technical analysis on Bitcoin. You had the golden cross. I told everyone to set the alert. Now you're looking for the alert to the 50-50. That means we're breaking this and you're heading towards 64,482. Next, we have XRP. First things first, I like to look at XRP versus Bitcoin. Reason being is, I've said this time and time again, this has only happened once, twice, 3, 4 times, where XRP versus Bitcoin had insane gains. This little pumpy pump from here to here is a 400% return on the XRP versus the dollar chart, which is right here. So because I was telling the Discord once again, regardless of the news, regardless of the lawsuit, regardless of this, regardless of that, not financial advice, but it was a good time to potentially buy some at this level. And if I would set an alert, once it hits this level right here, I think XRP goes to, excuse me, top. I think XRP breaks out of this and goes back to like this level over here. That $1 to $1.22. And unfortunately, you have to play devil's advocate, right? So let's go back to this chart. If we break up and we go to these beautiful, let's just change it for the argument because I can't say purple because everything's purple. But let's just say we go from the purple bottom to the orange, right? And we hit resistance. Okay? The same way we popped up and hit resistance here. Well, I think XRP has the potential to do a great run. I mean, if you bought anywhere from here to here, you're looking at a beautiful 100%, right? If you bought it below, you're looking at 100 to 150%. Well, Johnny, that's what I think happens. And then we need to see if we're seeing major selling pressure at resistance, the same way we have seen selling pressure at resistance. So what I do is I look left and I say, well, if we're respecting this trend line, unfortunately there's only 2 touch points. Obviously the more touch points the better, but it lines up with your liquidation resistance levels this way of the $1.10 to the $1.30. So if I have a trend line resistance lining up with a liquidity resistance, you're having a double negative here, and once again I line my technical analysis up with probabilities. You're going to have, just based off of this, if I take this off, this right here is selling pressure. It's very simple. And we haven't hit that level since July to December 2021. And the way this works, some people don't care about XRP. Some people don't care about Ripple. Some people cared that they bought at this price and they have been underwater and negative this entire time. And now that I just drew that pattern to you, I say a lot of things, obviously, right? But this looks like a nice W bottom pattern, which once again would usually fill the leg, right? Here's your double bottom, high or low, by the way, 1, 2, and we would usually fill this leg, bringing us back up to, once again, this level. The most important thing that I'm telling you right now is not the news. It's if we break out of this downtrend white resistance, go to this level of the $1.23 to potentially $1.40 something, right? You're in this wick level. You don't want to buy into wicks on the way up. You want to buy into wicks on the way down. So if we hit this level, I'm spending a little bit too much time on this, but I have to explain this to you, right? This and this is a fake out. If we break resistance, right, stay here for a month, come back into the trend, unfortunately, you will use what was support as support again. So we have potential to come back down to the 66 cents, forming another higher low, if you think about it, right? Because these lows here, right, these lows here were 16 cents, these were 20 cents, these were the 29 cents, this is the 45 cents. We go all the way up to $1, $1.25, come back down, higher low at the 65 cents. Technically, we would want to see this level here, which was previous resistance, the 63 to 69 cents, where we're having trouble break now, used as present support, showing us that this could be an even bigger play, right, to, let's just say, the $1.60 level. So once again, I'm not getting excited until we break the dollar. And then I'm not getting really excited until we break the $1.41 or the $1.61. Then at that point, I have to right-click, delete, and we are now looking at new levels to reach, right? New trends. Once a trend is broken, I can't use these trend lines anymore if XRP is at the $2, $3 level, right? That will happen if we break the orange and the yellow and we head to the white, right? Not Not my opinion. Just look in the past when we had just one green bar like this, or this pumpage here, or even just this pumpage here, right from here to here. So that's my XRP technical analysis, XDC. Let's look at XDC BTC first, right? Well, we had the pump up, now we're coming down. Let's look here. Are we getting anything bullish out of the XDC versus Bitcoin chart? Well, first things first, we are extremely oversold on longer time frames, okay? So what does this mean? This wave went from here to here. You're going to have dead cat bounces, but unfortunately, excuse me, you need to figure out if you're in section B and in section B, meaning this could pop up the same way this popped up here, and you could have nice pumpage. But you want to see your coin in section A and in section A, and that's when you start having mega bullish patterns, because you can see here, right? Section A in the 50, in the 50, in the 50, we made higher lows, higher highs, bull market structure right there. Once you're in section B using the 50 as resistance, once again, pumps, but lower highs, lower lows. Section A, pumps, baby. You don't have to take my word for it. Look up July 2023 for XDC and tell me what the price looked like. I'll do it for you. I will do it for you. Right there. We went from 2 cents all the way up 200% from 2 cents to 10 cents. So I'm trying to teach you simple strategies, cuzzies. Right? You could look at EMAs, this, that, the whole nine. The best thing to do is just buy these things when they're extremely oversold. Use like 2-3 levels on longer time frames where you've seen major selling pressure previously. Right? You can see this right here. Here's your major buying pressure, and you get a major buying pressure again at the 0.02. Unfortunately, this high is lower than this high. Well, this high is higher than that high. That's what I meant. So technically, you'd like to see a higher high. But yeah, I mean, this is one level right there. You're looking at, even if you just bought a little bit right now, 120% return, just back to that level. And I would line it up with that. Right? Because we respected this line here, came down, respected the line here, came down. So let's play bullish and bearish devil's advocate here, right? We're in section B. The first thing I want you to look at, we're in section B, section B. We're not on the left side of the moving average, and we're not pointing up. We're pointing down on a monthly time frame. If we start forming a bottom, that means we're going to go flat, which technically, not financial advice, is the best time to accumulate these coins, right? You wanted to buy these coins here. You buy at support in order to take profit at resistance. So, we zoom into the weekly, right? The monthly is still pointing down, so we don't expect anything really bullish to happen out of the weekly, meaning breaking out of a pattern. You can see here the pattern, okay? XDC is making lower highs, lower lows each time. So I'm expecting XDC to potentially pop back up, go back to the 3 cents, maybe even the high here of the 0.034, this level again. And what needs to happen is you need to start seeing some hidden bullish divergence on the weekly time frame that'll help the monthly time frame show a bottom. What do I mean by that? This. I want to see the price action staying flat, forming a range, while your MACD starts making higher lows and higher highs, as well as your RSI making higher lows, higher highs, and eventually popping back into, say with me, section A and section A. Once you had the golden cross above the 0 line, and your RSI was in section A as well, and had what? Room to grow in order to be oversold from the 50 to overbought at the 70. We went from 3 cents to 5, 6, 8 cents. So as of right now, does that line up with what you're seeing now? No. We are still coming down. We have not golden crossed. We are still making lower highs and lower lows on the RSI, so I am not expecting anything bullish yet. But unfortunately, there is another indicator that I don't usually talk about much. This is called the market bottom indicator. Excuse me. I like to use it on longer time frames where when I have looked left, has it called somewhat of a good level to put some money in. I don't like using it on a 1 hour because once again, I don't want to see it go off and we make lower highs and lower lows. I want to go to a longer time frame where you can see here, it's only gone off once, twice on a 2-week chart. Did it lie to us? No. What do I mean by that? When a death cross happened here, when the RSI broke here, it was the start of the bear market. We did not make a higher low or a higher high until we golden crossed and broke this here, right? There's golden crosses and death crosses on every time frame. I like to start my technical analysis with the time frame, which is usually a longer time frame, which the ones that don't lie to you. So this needs to start forming a bottom. You can see here what I would do is I would probably set an alert at 3707 notifying me that we're making our first higher high. And then you could go back to doing what you got to do. But once again, the 2-week chart, you can see here, the market bottom indicator was going off for literally April to September, months, showing you that there was major buying pressure. You're getting it varied here. Once it starts to form the bottom and you see multiple weeks of this going off, you're going to have a very good positive outcome thereafter. So now we go to BCH. BCH, BTC. Let's see. First things first, monthly time frame. What are we seeing? What do I tell you? You want to start seeing higher lows, higher highs, but more importantly, section A, right? I mean, it's the same thing over and over, right? Once you're in section A, you break out of market structure and you start making higher, right? Here is market structure. We had a hard time breaking this level because we were below the 50. You broke the 50 into section A. We were making higher highs every time. So once again, with that analogy, we are here. You can see here, we're popping up into section A, coming down, making higher lows. We went from here, the 26, went up, came down, 34. Went up, came down, 41. So I am seeing somewhat hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. So what we want to see is this ascending triangle play out to the upside, right? We went from here, resistance, support, resistance, support. Now what do I expect? Back to resistance. Now I'm not expecting it to break this until I see market structure change here and here, okay, on the longer time frame. So Bitcoin Cash has what? Room to grow. Back to resistance. So if I go to BCH USD, right, you can see here, a beautiful chart, how we had our rounding bottom. We filled the side, right? What was support was being used as resistance. We formed a market structure above the 0 line in section A, above the 50 line in section A, showing me that this is actually a bullish pattern playing out. The symmetrical triangle broke to the upside. This is the measured move. Boom, literally right there. So eventually what has to happen, once this happens, you need to delete these lines because they don't matter anymore. What mattered was this line right here, which was support back in 2022, January to March, was used as resistance literally from July 23 to February 24, and is being used again now as support. The most important thing is what? Is the bottom forming at section A and section A? And you can see here, the RSI is always the first mover, meaning you're going to start getting bullish or hidden bullish or hidden bearish out of the RSI first. You're going to get bullish or bearish market structures out of the RSI first, meaning clear as day. This MACD, okay, just look at this part of the chart right here. The MACD was still going up, but yet your RSI double topped, okay, right here. This showed me that something bearish was going to happen here. This happened April 21, but the MACD death crossed. I'm sorry, this was the 1st of April. It took 29 days for the MACD to death cross. Okay, that's my point. Those are the things that you need to understand, that the MACD is forming a higher low right now, while the MACD is not golden crossing or about to golden cross. So we need to see, are we going to make a higher high above the 50, above the 51, above the moving average? That will then show me that we have potential to have a reversal. That will show me that we will probably go back to the 401 level. Once we have the line down, like I showed you in whatever chart that was, Bitcoin or XRP, whatever it was, where it broke the moving average and then used it as support, well, that's when you have potential to break the 401, break the 497, and start heading to these levels here once again. I am not greedy. If I see 29 to 39% on the table in a matter of a week or two, not financial advice, but potentially you want to take just a small amount of profit, and then if and when you have a small pullback, you could take that profit and buy back more. That is my Bitcoin Cash technical analysis. End the video. What did I just do? There we go. Save it. So, end the video with Chainlink. First thing we're going to do is what? Link BTC. And we're going to start with what time frame? Longer time frames. Why? Because long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. Okay? Your RSI stopped at the moving average, bearish, room to bleed. Okay? MACD, death cross, below the zero line, bearish. Okay? We went from this level down to this level, down 35–40%. If I check Link USD, we went from $19 down to $10. Okay? And this doesn't look great because it looks like we're about to death cross and we're entering section B. So major support that I would not financial advice be looking to buy more Link is at this level where we're at right now, at the 840, all the way down. I would use 3. So 840, you could zoom in and you'll see more levels. There you go. And I would use 3 right in the middle. Boom. So 840, 740, you could raise this up to here just because I wanted to hit 845, 745, 615. Now, what is happening, the reason why I say now is because remember what I just showed you. What was resistance is now being used as support. And eventually, this downward pattern will have a dead cat bounce. Okay? It will have a dead cat bounce. But unfortunately, until we are in section A and section A, we will continue being in a downtrend. A downtrend is down, up, lower high. Down, up, unfortunately, lower high. Okay, so we're looking for the pump up. I'm expecting a lower high at the 1217 to the 1335. Nothing changes until we break $15 and make a higher high and a higher low, and we break out of this market structure. But market structure doesn't change until the long-term trend changes. Okay, meaning, once again, this market structure We did not break 582. We did not break 868, right? That level until what? Section A, Section A. On a 2-week chart, are we in Section A? Are we in Section A? No. Have we made a first higher low, higher high out of the RSI? Once again, look at that, right? Double top, down. Have we done a double bottom? Have we made a higher low yet? No. We're in this stage of the process where it's like, are we going to make a lower low, lower high? You want to see, once again, room, but I think there's room to go back to the moving average and potentially be rejected at the 50. So if we go up and we hit this level, like I said, that $12, $13, and you start seeing rejection on the weekly and the 2-week chart at the 50, meaning there's room to bleed from 50 back down to the 40, that means we're going to come back down and retest the 976 or the 833. The most important thing that you want to see is this playing out. You want to see flat. You want to see a range start happening from the 913 to the $13, the same way it happened here. You could actually do that. You could go here, go to, do I have it here? Bars pattern, right? You want to see the blood, same way you see, right? Downtrend, 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 and then eventually it stops, right? You want to see this. You want to see pump back up, but then flat. And then while you're having flat, this is what Chainlink has done forever. I mean, it's just flat, and then bullish divergence, right? Flat, bullish divergence, right? Flat, bullish divergence. And then you have a pop up when the stars align and when you're in Section A and Section A on the longer time frames. So that's what I see playing out, Cuzzy. That's the video. Enjoy the day. Love you. Any comments, questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. I'm going to update the Discord link, like I said in the beginning of the video. If you have any other requests, or if I didn't do in this video, please tell me in the comment section, and I'll do it in the next video. Besides that, let's just check Bitcoin one more time. Go back to the daily. Yeah, see, we need to break the 50. Need to break the 50, but we are staying above the moving average, and that would be the measured move. Love you guys. Appreciate the support.